Recording in progress.
Welcome to Astro Bros. I am Nick's throbbing erection. I have the biggest dick here, and the rest of you are all faking gay.
I'm not.
Oh, well,
to be
thanks.
honest, I'm not sure we can actually start with that on YouTube. I think that might be a little too spicy, but I don't even know. Because
Which one am
know
I?
if
Am
we
I fake or gay?
Both.
we're getting suppressed in the algorithm. If we say those, literally, if we say those words in the first like 30 to 45 seconds, we're immediately getting deranked. Just to let you know.
Suppression.
So if we bury them further in the podcast, we're not going to get deranked. Just so you know. So
What I'm
again,
hearing
Amber.
is silence for the first 30 to 40 seconds.
Sorry, not trying to censor you. It's just I'm trying to just not get on the YouTubes. Yeah.
YouTube shit list. We're already on YouTube shit list, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So tonight on Astro Bros, we were thinking about talking about maybe some planets, maybe some stars, maybe some cars, and we'll try to not go to the bars afterwards.
What about the stars and bars?
I was trying not to make that association because
Oh, okay. I understand.
it's oh, are you heterodox thinking? Well, then you're the other, and all the others are all of the others combined, which is all the bad people.
Yes. Obviously, we're
idiots.
the bad people. I mean, you got to lean into your villain role every once in a while, right? Otherwise, you're not really living.
Yeah.
This is true.
Well, they got, what do you to say? You got a villain to chillin'? You got a
chilling like a villain. I've heard that before.
Chillin'?
Well, for example, I got into an online argument in the group earlier with an Aquarius and made her back away from the argument. So that's always fun.
That's pretty fun when you just like bite into their leg and keep shaking your head back and forth until they run away. That's always a good feeling.
That's usually my MO.
They give up the field.
Yeah, I usually just ram right in. It's my soccer style too, where I basically ram right in and then I stop right in front of them and I make them hit me, and then I'm like, "What the fuck, man? Why'd you foul me?"
What do I do? I don't know. I mostly just like drop bombs and then like leave them there and then don't really look back at it until there's like a good amount of comments, or I just drop things that nobody really pays any attention to. And then cry about it in my sleep later, but it all works. It all works. So
I mean, I've made several posts in the last day or so that you've not paid any attention to, which kind of hurts.
I could say the same thing, but
I literally cannot see them all, and I'm trying to like have people tag me on ones that I have not seen, because like it literally is so difficult to just scroll back through all the posts that have been made because people are making so many. And I don't mean it's like difficult physically. It's difficult like psychically to do all that.
I understand that.
It's a lot of work. And sometimes I just don't want to do the work, Sometimes I do.
No,
But,
I completely understand that. I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. I'm just explaining my perspective. I hear your shit, and I feel like a lot of people are like, he's not paying attention to me and giving me points, and I'm doing all this work, And I'm like, whenever I see something that makes me laugh or whatever, I give points, and then when I get into chats, people whine about not getting points, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. One day I'll see something cool that you post, and I'll probably give you points for it.
well,
but I've been trying to figure out how to do
meme.
points that are different, like where it's like the trolling contest was like a better way to get points, because it is shifting things away from just all Harry Potter to some of the old school stuff, so that all the newbies aren't just like, what the fuck is happening in this group? Because I'm sure that most of them are like, what in the fuck? Like it's all these in jokes and like people pretending they're like Harry Potter houses, and they're too scared to like get further into it yet, so they're just like, I feel left out, I'm upset. And which is fine, but having a little bit more for them too is probably good in the long run. That's my operating theory right now.
Well, speaking of newbies, I actually resurrected one of my old posts from 2019 earlier today in the group.
The Scorpio one, where it was like
Yes.
the early Scorpio wars, right? Where you're like, why would I want to have any Scorpio placements? I'd gladly trade them in for like a leaky car or whatever. It was something like weird, like
Yeah,
I'll trade
something
them in
like
for like
that.
basically nothing because they're worthless.
It does feel that way sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes
But no,
it feels really
I
good
only
though.
mention that because the Scorpio wars that have recently been going on in the group. These are wars that have been going on in the groups forever, I think. And it's always funny, I think, to watch them, like people
Yeah, I
arguing
mean,
over like which Scorpio
who,
placement is the most Scorpio.
who's more Scorpio? And it's like been around for a long time, and it's like reliable bait. Like it's one of those baits that you can lay down like every year or every 6 months, and you're always going to get bites on it. That's like I love the bait that lasts forever. And the calling Aquarius a water sign is also like you're always going to get the newbies that just found out that Aquarius is not a water sign that will get very excited about that and to tell you that it's in fact an air sign. And
Oh, yeah.
that is, it always happens. There's always a couple newbies that are like, it's actually an air sign, and it's obviously that everybody else is in on the joke that it's like obviously bait,
Well,
but the
that's kind
newbies
of
are
how the
always like,
argument I had with the Aquarius earlier one. Because the thing is, I called her a fish brain because she very obviously has Mercury in Pisces. But her whole
mhm.
argument was, well, she's an Aquarius, and Aquarius is an earth sign. So how could she be a fish brain?
Wait,
And
Earth sign?
air.
Oh, air. Oh, I was like, what
Did
the?
I say earth? I don't know.
No, yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine. You did, but it's cool. We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Or we'll just repeat it over and
Fix it
over
in
again in a
We
post.
loop.
won't. We won't. We don't edit here. Don't
I
edit.
know. We do have to edit out the first few minutes, but anyway.
Well,
Yeah, Troy is
it
not
wasn't.
happy with my intro.
Oh,
I was worried about
what did I
Google.
miss? What did I
It
miss?
made me very satisfied. It
What
made
did
me
I
very
miss?
satisfied. But it was also that Mike followed it up with something, and I'm like, we just can't say that in the first 15 seconds. That's gonna get us
She
really
said,
downranked in the ratings. That's all.
welcome to Astro Bros. I'm here with fake and gay or something like that. It was like something like that. It was pretty
And
good.
she's
But
like, no, she's like,
and then I
hey,
was
I'm
like, which one's fake and
extravaganza.
which one's gay,
Like, I
and
think we're
it
far
was
enough
funny.
into the episode we can say it now, but it was just like it's just like we can't open with stuff they're gonna be considered bad for the advertisers. You know what I'm saying?
I said, welcome to
It's
Astro Bros. I am Nick's throbbing erection. I have the biggest dick in the room, and the rest of you are all fake and gay.
yes, that's what you said.
Yeah.
I was giving you the Cliff's notes. So good thing it's 15 minutes in. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
I'm
So
just saying.
All right,
I'm
fine.
just saying,
That's easy. I can edit the
appreciate
beginning.
it. I was scared of
No.
Overlord YouTube. Please don't hurt us.
I am
YouTube.
not scared of
We love
Overlord
you. You make a great
YouTube.
platform.
Yeah.
You make a great platform. Google is the best company ever. I was using you as a search engine since I was in 7th grade.
Hey Google, the noticing will continue until the algorithm improves.
Yeah. You know what? Guess what, boys? We don't have
What?
advertisers. We don't have money right now. So let's
We do not.
let's just say what we
It's
want
weird.
to say. And then when we do, then we can worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's wait
still
until we
the
have an
same-
audience to get audience captured. Do you know what I'm saying?
The algorithm
that's
still
how I'm feeling
regulates
about it.
the content the same way.
Yeah,
we can
but-
say
I don't
a
give
lot
a shit
we can
about
say a lot
Al
of the
Gore's
same
rhythm.
stuff, we just have to jump through a couple hoops. That's all.
I get what you're saying, Troy. But at this point, I said we just go. Let's just like, Legion of Skank style. Just
We're-
fucking say what we want to
We're
say.
basically doing this for us at this point. So maybe
Well,
one
no,
day
I
it'll be
get it.
different.
No, I get it. I'm just saying. Anyway. I'm just saying we could. I do want to do it for us, and it is for us, but it's also for them. And the thing is that the platform is anyway. I can talk about it later, but it's
I
really
get it.
not
Okay.
that hard. We just need to like just not use a couple words. That's fine, you know.
Hey,
But you're
yeah.
but
Instead of fake and gay, say extremely artificial and unfortunately homosexual, for example. Will that work?
Unfortunately,
Very
homosexual.
artificial, very homosexual.
I
Yeah.
feel like unfortunately homosexual has like a negative connotation to it. You're unfortunately homosexual. Like that sucks for
I mean,
you.
that's not even what I mean when I call someone gay most of the time.
yeah.
Sucks for everyone, kind of. You
I
know,
mean, they're
that's
gay.
that's their goal.
I don't necessarily mean that they're homo. I mean, you're just gay.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
get it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, is that I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. It's just like if I'm not gonna like have you try something that I haven't tried myself. That would just make
I
me
meant
look
Aries
bad.
moon. Like, what are you talking about?
I think he's literally talking
Um,
about gay sex.
Oh,
So,
that's also very gay.
wait, Troy,
I
don't let me
don't.
put your mouth, but
That's less artificially gay, though. It's more, authentically gay, which is
yeah, I was gonna say that's just
It's
It's
gay,
called.
better.
but
Is
Yeah.
it 69 the circle of life?
yeah.
It's also the Cancer symbol,
Exactly.
the circle
Circle
of goat
of
seed.
life.
And that's why cancers are always getting pregnant.
Yes, they love it. They love Little Debbie's cream pies, is what I've heard. Cancers love little snack cakes, cream
Since
pie
the day
snack
they arrived
cakes.
on the planet.
Hey, did you know that like there's
Hopefully not
actually
that
a
early,
Little
man. Come
Debbie's
on.
amusement park?
And boldly stepped into the sun.
Apparently, it's a thing in Tennessee.
There's a Little Debbie's amusement park
In Tennessee.
in Tennessee,
Oh yeah.
so we can go get our cream pies for real
Oh yeah.
and ride a
Cream
cream pie ride.
pies, fresh from the factory.
Oh,
Factory fresh cream pies. Everybody likes
wanna
those.
ride the mighty cream pie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should have
did
written
the sun
smut
shone
about that.
high in the sapphire sky?
Ooh.
Because I don't even
Yes.
think I don't think they've read my smut post. And
Your smut post,
yeah.
the Harry Potter one.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys read the?
I graded that. I gave you money for it. I gave you points.
You
Not
gave me
money,
money
points.
for that?
Points, I'm sorry. It's like money for nerds.
Oh.
It is-
Points
it is
are
like
No,
money.
what he did is
People
he
like
took a
'em.
$5 bill and he folded it into a little paper airplane and he threw it and
I
it
threw
didn't
it
and he just like it
toward
went
Seattle.
he meant it to go to you. It went as far as it
Yes.
could.
Yeah.
But actually, I think you might be referring to a smut post that I made a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a new smut post?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh.
very spicy between Harry Potter and Voldemort.
Oh, it's hot. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's yeah. It turned me on. Got me going.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so
It
last
caught
night,
my
Nick and I
motor
decided
revs.
to
You
Oh,
know
I
what
think
I'm
that
that was
saying?
the, I think
Yeah.
that was
while
the one
trying
I was
out some
like,
of
I
our
don't
new
have
sex
time for this
toys.
right now when I scroll past it.
love it.
That was like I'm a little too vulnerable to have something to read something like this right now.
Oh.
My
So,
Pisces
Troy-
I think you could tough through it.
Mercury
I think
is
that you.
is working its waters on me.
Yeah. Without naming names, Troy, apparently you have a new interest. Don't name names.
That's news to
I
me.
mean, it's pretty obvious.
Apparently, is this true or not? Am I?
That's news to me. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I can like
Okay, I
literally
don't
go
know.
into the main chat right now and just
Someone thinks that you have a new interest.
Do I?
A
Certain
lust
someone.
interest. I mean, a love interest.
Okay, that's news to me. So
Oh shit. Okay.
all right. No.
Okay.
denial.
Does that mean
doesn't
somebody
work
like
on
is
this
flirting
brain.
with Troy and he's totally oblivious to it? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a fish brain.
Huh. Okay.
Oh.
Never mind. Ignore
Oh
that.
yeah, he is a fish brain. I forget that sometimes.
But
Aries
like,
are funny that are fish brains. The fish
Oh, yeah.
I
brainers.
mean, we are on air, but otherwise
Wait.
I'd ask follow-up questions. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
just because I find certain people cute, or just because I flirt. Most of the time, I'm flirting. It's just for fun, just because.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just
Echo
it's a
Mike
good
Mike
joke.
Alpha.
Who?
Echo
Oh,
Mike Mike.
really?
oh yeah,
Do you know the military? Echo Mike Alpha.
he's got that mad cow disease. He's got moo
He's
fever.
triple. She's trouble,
No.
Troy.
I'm trouble. Edit, cut, edit, edit point.
All
Look
right,
at
He's
Troy's
trouble.
face. Look at his face.
I knew it. I knew it.
whatever. I think
Granted,
she's
I knew
cute,
it
but
like
that's
just
like
from a
I'm
few
not
days
like
ago, and he's like, "We should have her on the podcast." Then I look in the main chat earlier, and it's like
I
all
told
these
you.
little flirtatious comments in response to her.
Edit, 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 yada, yada,
Oh,
yada.
sorry about that. Well, no, I'm
Well,
not. But yeah,
She's
I'm
Called
just
out.
giving.
we have
I mean,
we
she
have a
wears
couple
choker
similar
chains. That's a
placements,
pretty
and
bad sign to me.
I think she's funny and cute, but like, yes,
Yes.
I think lots of people are funny and cute. But
Oh,
like,
thanks.
I think I learned from someone like not taking things as seriously as I was or whatever, that it was
Yeah.
just like, it's just like, yeah, I'm 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 not ready to entertain any kind of
Stuttering John over here.
long distance situationship right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Actually, you're
Like-
more free than you've been in a long time, and this should be the time that you're willing to take some risks.
Ooh.
Oh, don't get me
Counterpoint.
wrong. I'm totally willing to take some fucking risks, but at the same time, is that like, it's the thing is like, do they have the fucking skills to actually like work shit out with some other person, or are they just gonna keep getting stuck in their head, repeating their own patterns? You know? And it's like, I'm trying to get out of my
Yes.
fucking patterns and out of my way and do that. And I thought I was ready to do that. I mean, if this is getting edited out, I was ready
It's
to do
not
that.
Troy. It's not.
Fuck you.
It's not. It's never. Remember,
We're talking about relationships tonight because it is Venus retrograde, and
Hey, by
that
the
is
way-
going to be the theme.
that's one of our literally
What
one
are
of the
you talking
topics of the
about?
show.
Oh yeah.
We talk about astrology, relationships, spirituality, life. Welcome to Astro Bros.
I've got a very special little bit of notes that I'd love to tell you about Venus retrograde if you're down, just to help
Yes.
guide our conversation.
Yeah. And
Well,
go for it.
I have different levels of filters, and I thought you guys were already editing this out. So,
Oh, okay. If you really, really, really want me to,
I don't want to fucking mention her name because she doesn't deserve to be talked like that. There's a difference
Who?
between saying something in confidence and saying something out on fucking YouTube and shit like that. So I just
fair. No, okay.
like
Okay.
at minimum edit her
Alright.
name out, please.
Okay. Respect.
I don't even know which one we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Are we talking about the old one or the new one?
We're talking about Cinnamon from the strip club the other day.
Oh, fucking Cinnamon, man! Always trouble.
I mean,
if
I
they're
wouldn't
named after,
exactly call her
a
old. Like it was
spice.
just last week. So.
Welcome to the stage.
yeah.
Cinnamon.
Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
just I'm trying
Alright.
I'm trying to live up to my own principles, and there's different
Fair.
levels of things, and
Well,
I thought
You know that ASO is a trad marriage incubation chamber, right?
I love
Yes,
that
yeah.
comment.
And
That was-
apparently
that
you
was-
told
that was
David
great.
that it was all a ruse to find him a wife.
I did
Unfortunately,
not tell him that. I probably joked about it once with him, and he's just repeating it like that was true. But I thought that was pretty funny that he brought that up because it's like, then I was like, David's gaslighting us all right now, and
Yeah.
or something. I
now
don't know.
he's mad at me because I mentioned that he's been through more Astro thoughts than he has Harry Potter houses. So,
Who?
David.
Oh yeah.
David. Yeah, David is
both of them.
Both.
that
Angelo,
It's
too.
actually both, but I
Yeah.
was referring to David.
Okay. Angelo too.
Yeah, oh my God, Angela will travel and fly him to him. It's crazy. So that's like makes him a
We're
real
just-
threat.
We're just spreading everybody's gossip right now, aren't we?
Are we?
I don't think that's
Yeah,
gossip. I think
yeah,
that's
we fucking
known.
are. You know what?
Apparently you are. Like, we don't usually do
That's
this. 'cause we try
no-
to be a little more respectful
This
of
is
people,
public knowledge,
people,
Troy.
people.
Like, it's not like it's public fucking knowledge.
It is really public knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, anyone who's been in the group for a minute is aware of that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Well,
It's
not all of it. Not all of it. So
Well, okay, Troy. The stuff about you. Okay, fine. We'll go back and edit. Let's see. What time is it? 5:49. Okay, so like, I'll go and search around 25 minutes into the podcast and find this, and I'll edit out certain names for you, Troy. Got it. Don't worry.
just the one. I put it in chat.
I
Just
already
the
know.
tip.
Okay, I got it. Cheers.
Perfect.
Respect. Done. Serious. Over.
Sweet. What planet we were talking
Relationships.
about today?
We're talking about Venus retrograde, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aren't we,
let's just do
Amber?
a
Oh, yeah.
continuation of that because it's been continuing on me. So
Oh,
Aw.
it's been fucked. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
because it's
everybody's
quit my
getting it a
job
little
retrograde
bit.
today.
Venus sign.
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah. She makes a good point. It might have gotten spoken over, but it's retrograding in the sign that your Venus is in. So
Aries.
I realized that, and Emma pointed that out, and I was like, oh shit.
See?
okay, you can't
That
say
totally makes sense.
if you're gonna say names, I'm not gonna edit this far, so you need to
Well, I mean,
Emma's the Taurus that is on
random Emma
astrology
pointed
ship
out.
posting only. And
I was,
I think, does she have Venus and Aries?
That's a good
Yes.
point.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
she
has
does.
Venus and Aries.
Well, that's a good point. Okay, good point. Thank you, Emma. You make a good point.
No,
Thank you.
she was saying that about herself, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because I have that similar placement.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Okay,
no,
that's a good point.
She was also like, she was also very articulately. I'm not even saying the word right. She was answering
She was
my
very
questions in a very clear way, you know, because people were like laying down a couple concepts that I had no idea about, and then she explained them, and I was like, oh, okay, I appreciate you actually breaking down and explaining that to me. You know?
Nice. Nice.
She's one of my favorite people to talk shit to because there's at least a 25% chance that she'll leave the chat for 2 days when I do.
Exactly.
And that's really funny to me. I don't know, because she like always comes back, and she's like, oh, and she'll go off in a huff, and like I'll be like, people know her, go take care of her. But I never send her a message asking if she's okay because I don't roll like that with her.
Well,
Because
It's like
she's one of my
pretty much almost
nemesis.
every Leo
She's one of my
Mars in
nemesis
chat.
sisters.
Nemesis.
Nemesis?
What? Nemesis sisters.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
Those
I've
are
made
sisters.
Emma leave chats before because
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
you know
I
what?
mean, you can just bring up like eating meat, for too long, and that'll work sometimes. Like vegans are sometimes sensitive, is what I've noticed in my life. It's probably because they're not getting enough protein, but I'm not sure exactly why they're so sensitive, but it's probably lack of easily accessible proteins,
I mean, plus,
that's
I
gotta be
mean,
the
she's a
reason.
Taurus depriving herself of, tasty
Beef.
food. She's probably angry 24/7. I would
Yeah, I
be.
mean, God, could you imagine? No, I can't.
Um,
Okay, we've talked
Amber-
about you enough,
Amber-
Emma. Thank you very much. If you leave the chat over this, that means you watched the show, so that's great.
Yeah. Hey, Emma, shout out whoever you are. I don't know you.
Shout out to you if you're
Yeah.
watching this now.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, I mean,
welcome. You're now officially an Astro
She was
bro.
going to quit
Welcome.
the group and how toxic it was. So, I'm not
Oh,
sure she
that
understood
one,
it now.
yeah. The video post. I
Which-
watched 5 minutes of that and stopped.
Oh, she did a video
And
post?
also a Scorpio tried to steal her baby or something. I don't know.
Oh, she just make up a story?
He does not.
I don't know.
I did not watch it, obviously. Emma, I'm sorry, but I figured you were just complaining about something like maybe not having enough protein. So I didn't watch the thing. I should watch it in the future.
Yeah.
I will try to, if I can find the time and it comes up in my feed again, it's very possible that I'll actually hit play this time.
Yeah, very possible.
I mean, like it or not, a lot of the jabs that Kevin Johnson has taken at her over the years are pretty on point.
Like what kind of what's one of them?
Oh.
What's one of them that's appropriate for your
God.
this?
I'm trying. I would have to think.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, it is Kevin Johnson, so
It is Kevin Johnson, yeah.
I mean, there's like certain people that mostly get themselves into trouble because they will say the worst thing that comes to their mind when they're in a conflict. And Kevin is definitely one of those. There's a couple others that are out there, and they'll just say those things, and then it creates like a pretty big backlash to them. There's been several times where like people have tried to make me kick Kevin out of group, and I'm like, I can't, I can't. I like Kevin, but I'm also like, I wish you wouldn't call people those names like publicly because it makes it really hard to defend you
do it
when
in
you're
DM.
like,
Yeah.
you soggy cunt, you know, like you can't just say that all the time, you know, like you know, it's just you gotta figure out how to be a little bit more couth and you'd be fine. But it's that Aquarius moon, man. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much. I mean, is he Australian? Because if he's Australian, he can say soggy
No,
cunt.
no, he's not Australian.
He's
He's Canadian,
Canadian.
unfortunately.
Ah, okay, okay. He's a
He's living under the rule of some central banker now, and he's they're gonna take Canada to their knees. I forget what his name is, but it's some shitty Canadian name. And Trudeau just stepped down, and they brought in like Mark Carney, I think, or something like
Oh,
that.
Yes.
And
I read
holy
something
shit,
about last night.
oh,
it's just gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, guys. But speaking of Venus in retrograde, um, you should avoid major new beginnings. And Canada was like, how about we just get a new prime minister? It's not very good, according to Venus in retrograde.
right.
You shouldn't rush decisions. Like, for example, you shouldn't probably just push a central banker into power in Canada. Um, you should not ignore red flags during Venus in retrograde. Red flag, maybe a central banker being put to power in Canada. You know, it seems like maybe that's not the choice.
Don't let a central banker
I don't
control
know how
your
to
heart
relate everything
either.
else to Canada, so I'm just going to say steer clear of X drama and avoid overindulgence during this period.
Oh. Um. uh, Also,
Canada.
when and so also for Canada, I'm talking about Canada right now. You know,
Day of the
when,
rake is coming.
when people express things like, say you are in a relationship and your partner, like if your partner is Canada and you're the United States and your partner Canada is like, hey, like these are things that bug you or bug me about you, like listen to them, because when you're in it, like when you're in a relationship with Venus in retrograde, like the United States and Canada are, where North America, the relationship of North America, like listen to your partner, because like your partner Canada, because like they they might, when Venus is retrograde, like they might express things and say like, hey, these are the things that annoy me, these are the things that bother me, like, and like listen to the other country, and like, like they might be right. And so just that's something else to consider. Like it doesn't mean like run away and talk to your ex or start a new relationship based on impulse, but it's like if you're in a relationship, if you're in like a serious committed relationship like North America is, we've been a relationship
Yes.
for a long time, like listen to them, hear them out, like take what they have to say and be like, okay, interesting. So like that's the difference. It's like obviously like don't just like don't try to be like, oh, we're just gonna get rid of Canada because fuck Canada. It's like, no, it's like you gotta listen to
That
them.
bitch keyed our car in 1789, though. You know, like we got to
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that she's not always trustworthy. And you got to recognize also that she's been making some bad decisions lately, you know?
Yeah.
She's been going out with guys that just are not good for her, and unfortunately she doesn't have a whole lot more money left, you know, and she hasn't been spending her resources that good. And you
Are
know,
we still
we've
talking about
been
Canada?
helping her out a lot. We've been
Yeah,
helping
yeah,
her out a lot,
yeah.
and we just might be at the point where we don't want to help her out anymore, and that she has to just struggle with the consequences of her own decisions. And that might be a Venus in retrograde lesson for her. But maybe we shouldn't say that we're
That's
gonna
more
like,
Mexico. That's more Mexico. But yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
well, they have their
yeah.
own
Never,
problems. We remember the Alamo, you know, for
I
example.
have a confession to
never
make.
forget. Never forget.
What's your confession? You're Canadian?
I'm a second generation immigrant from Canada.
Get the fuck off the podcast. You need to
Gang.
pay us tariffs right now.
The
I'm not.
I
the
mean
day of the
that
rake is
that
coming, son.
Yeah.
that might be why I'm part bisexual and I've sucked dicks in the past.
Hey,
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. It's not a
in the
fact.
past, interesting. Is that like a?
I
It's
mean,
not a future thing.
I don't think I haven't ran the test.
Fair.
You know, maybe I just need to suck. I don't know. I don't know what the test is. Maybe I need like a dick from
Maybe
each
you're just
country
trying
or
to get the
something.
essence of America into you, you know? Like maybe that's
Yeah.
like the goal. You're
Well,
looking for
that was
that
my
real
plan.
American, the
Yeah.
American dream, the American
Real even can
Just want
hear
America
him.
all over your face.
Yep.
America.
America.
America. Yes, Amber. Amber.
For the win.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. See,
Yep.
get in here. You.
I'm
Come-
right here.
No,
My
I
dad
know.
was
Come
born in
closer.
Canada.
You're fucking off. Yeah, I want them to hear your jokes.
They can't hear me?
They
That
can hear.
sounds like a them problem.
Oh, well, no, it's a microphone problem. You're too far away from the microphone.
It is a
Great.
they them problem if you really look at it.
Yeah. Speaking of total side note, them they the stand up fucking Big J Okerson, highly recommend it. He has a stand up comedy. Anyways, keep going.
I'm down. I'll watch it
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. I'll send you the
We're
link.
pretty scattered on this one, so what
We're good.
would you
Sounds like a
rate this
Venus retrograde
Venus in
going
retrograde
into,
for pure hurdles and annoying relationship shit so far?
I got a question.
Oh,
10 out of
Two-
10 being the most heavy.
wait,
Go ahead.
Mike's asking a question, but yes, go Troy, and we'll go back to Mike.
Well, I mean, he asked
it's-
his question first.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
No,
Thanks,
I
Amber,
mean,
for
Mike, you
giving
can
us
go
that
ahead
point.
if that's all
Yeah.
right.
And Troy interrupted him.
Yeah, Troy. Amber's fucking regulating right now, so let's go.
Of course,
Mike.
I interrupted him. That's what I do. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
You know what did
All
they
right.
say? Risen with the tism.
Yeah, you do have tism. To Mike's question, I think it's a good Venus retrograde. I think I think being an Aries, people are gonna express their needs. You know, if it was say like in Pisces or any other sign, literally besides a fire sign, especially Aries, I think everyone has their individual needs. And if we're talking about relationships, people have their needs in relationships, and it's a good time to express those needs. Like if you're in a relationship, express your needs, express what you want. It's not about boundaries, it's just about expressing needs. Like if this was like in fucking Capricorn, it'd be like, oh, these are my boundaries, these are my issues, or Cancer or whatever. But like literally just, and also like express, like I think relationships can become too, like a healthy relationship allows for like a level of independence and just like do your thing, be you, work on your own individual stuff, be yourself, like, and then bring that to the relationship. And I think like relationships, if they become too smothering, or if they become too like, codependent, I hate to use that fucking phrase, but it's a real thing, I guess.
It is a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's totally. Well, it's part of our ego work and our shadow work.
Yeah. But I think like the Venus in Aries part of the retrograde is a good time to express, especially like right now with Mercury in Aries, it's a good time to express those things and talk about them, work on them, and don't go full on just fucking anger, blah blah. I mean, temper it with the opposite sign Libra, and kind of like be like, okay, like hear each other out, have like be diplomatic with each other, hear each other out, have a good conversation about it. Don't just be like, fuck you, blah blah blah. These are my things, blah blah blah, and then push away. It's like, no, okay, these are my things. Okay, let me hear your things. Let's figure out a way to make it work. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But there's ways to make it work. And I think that it takes more work, obviously, and it takes more effort. But I think that there's strong value in that. And when the retrograde is done, you'll feel like either it will work or it won't. But I think there's rewards to putting in the effort. And so I think like people like to dismiss all the retrogrades. It's like, oh well, Mercury retrograde, it's just not a time to do anything, blah blah, shitty communication, blah blah. But there's still stuff to do. The reality, like the real astrology of it is like, no, it's a time you're supposed to fucking work some shit out so that you can then move forward for the next X amount of time.
Yeah.
And grow it's like, you're constantly leveling up. And so with Venus retrograde, it's the same thing. You're trying to work out your shit so that individually and also in the relationships you have, so that you can then level up, and then the next time it comes around it's a new challenge, but you've worked out the other stuff. Because Amber,
I feel like in Aries it's more likely to kind of erupt into conflict and squabble a little bit, like just because it's Aries, so it doesn't always come across like with that Libra flair, right? Like where it's like it's gonna come out in like fucking anger, every once in a while. And you got to be able to work through that too sometimes, your own anger in a relationship, or your own where your needs aren't getting met. And sometimes you got to forcefully have the conversation about it, and the Venus in Aries has been like a lesson in that for a lot of people to set clear boundaries or what they want, just simply like what they're looking for and what they want in a relationship. And also to learn where their comfort zone is, how well are you able to express what your actual needs are, and how much do we defend against actually expressing our real needs, like by hiding behind a couple proxies or whatever, like it's not really about this, it's about this, where you put out like a defense before you can actually be vulnerable and deal with the issues that are on the table. And I feel like that is something that comes up in Venus retrogrades too, is like, how do we hide from actually going deeper into our relationships, and how do we hide from actually talking about like the heavy shit that might not be so fun to talk about. And I think that that's beautiful, but it's always not fun to go through. I'm out of high life and I need a little bit more high life in my life. So I'm going to go grab.
That was too real. I'm feeling vulnerable. I feel you're talking at me right there.
Oh, no.
My Pisces Mercury is just like totally inflamed right now.
Oh. Hey.
I wasn't talking at you at all. I was talking to myself.
No, I'm just all I was just saying is you're talking real.
No, yeah. But that's just to the lessons. It's any retrograde is a good time to take on to really just internalize and take the lessons that you're going through. And like it's harder, but if we do that, we come out of the retrograde and there's a lot of value and worth in that. So it might be harder right now, but I promise you it's worth it if you just allow the lessons. And not just you. It's not just you, Troy. I wasn't talking about you. Mike wasn't talking about you. I mean, I have my own lessons.
No, I get my own.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say is that he was on point.
Oh yeah. And yeah. It's when Mike comes back, do you want to comment on Mercury or not, Venus retrograde at all, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, if anyone shuts up long enough.
All right. When Mike and Troy come back,
Well,
you can talk.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I want to do closer to the mic, because the farther you are away, the less loud it is. So if you want to like jump in and say yourself, like get like about this far away, and it will
So like basically where I am right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the louder it is then for them, and it's like any conversation, like when you're in a conversation with like multiple people.
Yeah.
The louder people tend to take over the conversation.
Yeah.
So like when we're talking about like comic stuff, being physically closer, having the volume of your voice be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it.
That makes complete sense. Thank you. Apparently, I'm the only one of the four of us who is sober right now.
I mean, I'm mostly sober.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm not after this one though.
How many shrooms? How many shrooms did you take earlier?
What are you talking about?
When you left all of those like rambling voice notes in the main chat.
Oh yeah, those were great. I don't really care if people liked them or not.
Excellent.
There. She was on camera. Did you see that? She was on camera. Look at that.
No. Was there a middle finger back to me? That's good.
Yeah.
Nice to communicate.
Is that a Libra shirt?
Unfortunately, yes. It's more like a warning to the rest of the world.
Yeah, it is. It's a warning. Okay. Someday.
Watch out, the game balancer's coming in. That's AI game balancer. That's what we do.
Game balancer.
Sucks, but it's life.
Game balancer. The gay bouncer. Oh,
a gay bouncer? Is that what you said? A gay bouncer? If I was gay, I'd bounce. That's for sure.
I know. Yeah.
But
on a bounce on a dick. What?
Yeah. But what? But I'm not, so it doesn't matter.
I don't believe you.
Jesus. She will forever think that Libras are gay. So, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I have my moon and rising in Libra. So the shit that I get on the daily
It's well deserved.
is she has a gun to my head.
It's well deserved.
It's well deserved.
Just rude. Just a
It's well deserved. She has a gun to my head. Please call the police.
Seattle PD wouldn't show up anyway, man. They're
No,
too
they're
busy.
waiting. Ah!
Too busy.
You're like,
fucking
oh, well,
rolling their pud.
yeah. Oh, fuck.
They're at diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like they just have
Oh.
those all week now because Seattle wants to be different. Like that's all the cops do is go to DEI meetings now. It's sad.
Oh my god, they waste their time just
Sad.
learning about nonsense. Yeah.
They should be rousting those layabouts like in the middle of their city. I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. Washington State is like doubling down harder with all that bullshit. Like to be like, we're anti-Trump administration, so we're gonna triple down and be like, we're against it. We're so awesome. It's like, oh god, there's no self-reflection. There's no fucking anything. It's just like
It's mostly just a bunch of, woke agenda circle jerk
it
bullshit.
is. It is. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys don't have to stay there but that much longer. It's time to vote with your feet
yeah.
and leave that to the assholes, Leave the
Yeah.
West
yeah.
Coast to the assholes. And then when they
Yeah.
destroy it, we can come back like in raiding parties and take it back over. And
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
When they destroy themselves and crumble, then we'll be like, oh, this is nice
Yeah.
land. We're gonna take
Yeah,
this.
this is
back.
nice land.
Yeah.
Second frontier, anybody?
Yeah,
let's
let's
take
go.
it again.
Let's
Be fun.
fucking go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're
Awesome.
just
I mean,
kidding.
it
We're
can't be
not
any
gonna
worse than what is
invade you,
currently going
Toronto.
on here.
It can't be. Wait, what? It can't be.
No.
All right. Amber, do you
Yeah.
have thoughts on Venus retrograde in Aries? Any and or none or many?
All of the above, kind of.
That's hot when you suck your finger like that. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
Yes,
Nothing.
of course you did.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're obviously right in front of a microphone. You said something about it's
Don't
hot
worry,
when she
I'll
sucks
edit
her
that out
finger.
later.
yeah. I love you. I love you.
So yeah, I mean, as an Aries moon, I do feel like when I have an issue, I mean, even my mother will tell you this. I never in my life have minced words. When I have an issue, people are going to know about it in no uncertain terms. I don't really beat around the bush. And if people can't hear that, I don't fucking know what to tell them. I mean, sometimes it gets misconstrued as anger or me being in my feelings and this, that, and the other.
Are you saying you're never in your feelings?
I mean,
good question.
I'm not saying I'm never in my feelings, but I am saying that, my default mode of communication is just to be very direct and not mince words.
Correct.
And honestly, I see that as, on a very basic level, respecting the other person who I'm speaking to. That way they don't have to sit there and be like, oh, well, what does she mean by that? Let me see if I can read between the lines. Like, no, I'm saying exactly what the fuck I mean. So I mean,
that's really cool. Have you considered though talking in riddles?
I'm not a Pisces Mercury, so no.
Oh, rude.
No, he didn't even register. Hey, Troy, wake up.
Is he dead?
I'm doing my best. Sorry.
Oh no,
Sorry,
you're
my
fine.
Pisces Mercury is processing all the shit that just happened in the last 2 hours in my life.
Oh, fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm trying to get caught up. I'm
There was
trying to
no
listen.
reaction. Yeah.
I'm trying as hard as I can to listen to what Amber's saying. She's saying interesting things. I'm just struggling with my own nature.
Caught up in the feelings.
Well, in the words of Timothy Cahill, Mercury and Pisces people should file for or should qualify for Social Security from the age of 18.
Why? Because
I'll
they're
take it.
Because they're
Emotionally disabled.
Imagine being born with that, but it's retrograde
Yeah,
too when you're born, you
I
know? That would be the
realized
worst.
I'm not really autistic. I'm just a Pisces.
You're just a Pisces Mercury. It's like part of the thing, right? It's not that
Whatever.
bad.
Oh my god, that's a post. That is a
Like,
post. Fucking post
like
that
you were
shit.
talking so real, and I was just like, I started fucking like I'm just like, oh my god, I'm
Oh,
crying. It's just like,
oh, buddy.
oh,
Oh, you're going through a lot. Yeah, no. All right.
I have always hated getting fired, just so you know. I hate it.
Yeah.
Um,
it's just
and
I
I don't
want to
like
work
it.
in a place
And
with more drama, and it's just like, and I mean, I guess it's just like it's totally. I mean, it's nice that I'm learning all this astrology stuff because like my whole approach to all this has been like I went so deep down the rabbit hole with spirituality that I couldn't apply a lot of it. So I've been now trying to build from the ground up, and now it's like I've now like integrating astrology into it, and it's helping me understand my own journey and use and I'm realizing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like you basically like once you learn astrology as a introspection tool, then you can start to learn how to learn how it affects other people.
yeah.
And then from there, then you can learn how it affects multiple people in positions of power and such like that, and start to predict stuff, but depending on people in context.
Yes.
Mhm.
There's a really good book called Cosmos and Psyche, which is actually a really good intro to the bigger global cycles. It's by Richard Tarnas, I believe. It's really good. It's like one of the better astrology books I've ever read, and it's from a very Western perspective. He like wrote another book called Passion of the Western Mind that's really good. That really explains like the cycles of history that we kind of go through as a culture. Um, and I feel like we're at this very crazy point in Western culture where there's a big shift that's happening. Um, we're not quite sure where it's all going to land, but it's definitely not going to be the same as it has been for the last post World War II. That entire superstructure is basically crumbling in front of us. We're in a very chaotic time, and the fact that Pluto's in Aquarius, Neptune's about to go into Aries, Uranus is about to go in Gemini, it just means that the pace of change is going to be so fast, it's going to be hard for the center to hold. Um, and it's going to depend more on our own initiative. It's going to depend more on our own actions, to get through it. And you're not just going to be able to it's like there's this ride, this roller coaster that's like, this roller coaster only stops in case of emergency. And it says crying is not an emergency. So that's going to be the
Neither does this
next
podcast.
fucking 5 years is crying is not an emergency. Emotions are not going to be held up as like the thing that stops the ride anymore. And that is going to be very frustrating for a lot of people, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's actually really well a good way to fucking sum up all the Saturn, both Saturn and Neptune moving to Aries. That's
Yeah.
fucking, especially Neptune because it's been a decade of that shit. But like,
Yeah.
oh, not even a decade, more than that. But you know what I mean. Like,
2012 to now, so 13 years. Yeah.
I'll just say a decade then. Fuck it.
Close
But
enough.
it's yeah, exactly that kind of mentality of like, me and like give me attention because I'm a victim. That shit is just not gonna fly very soon. I mean,
Well, all the people that have been living off of that are about to
yes,
like
yes,
find
yes,
out that nobody gives a shit anymore, which is like going to be really hard for them. So the ones that are most in it, we're going to have to like reach out to hopefully
yeah,
and save the good ones
yeah,
because you can only do so much, but we need people, we need more people. So we need
yeah,
to keep reaching out to people, but we've got to like focus on action, dealing with the reality on the ground instead of what we wish it should be, or what we think it should be. Um, it's going to be a lot less about what our projection of a better world is and just dealing with a crazy world as it's unfolding. And that is like the shift that we're going to be going through, and it's happening soon. I think the
Well, it's
30th
part
is
of
this month. Neptune
part of
moves
how
into
I
Aries.
understand things is that um it's really hard to predict what is best, and because the ego is focused on security, so it's going to be like, hey, I got fruit from this tree, so I want to get fruit from this tree forever, so it's going to so its whole strategy is, how do I maximize this, where it's like that strategy is not necessarily what we want, so we project things we want that are going to maximize our happiness that aren't necessarily true. But as we raise our level of awareness, we realize that, like, and that goes for morality too, is that, like, well, the best outcome is not necessarily what we think it is. And maybe the best outcomes ends up happening 3 steps down the line or whatever. And it's just like we don't have that perspective. And that's where we need to, like, take a step back in this sense. And, um, and, God, I had a second point that I was leading up to, but, I forgot it.
Did it have to do with divine timing? Because patience and just allowing things to unfold naturally gets you more into divine timing. And understanding astrological cycles helps you to link up with what is kind of and with the
Yep.
energies that are around you.
Well, it's
So
also
instead of
that,
trying
like,
to make the world be how you want it to be, you deal with the world as it is and try to adapt to it as it's going. This is
oh,
harder for fixed signs.
I remember my point now. So with all of the stuff going on right now, oh, see ya, Amber.
She's coming back.
I'm
She's
coming
she's
back.
gonna go have a
Okay.
smoky and then come back.
So the one thing is that, like, with what everything that's going on now in the political sense or whatever changing, um, how do I put it this way? That as long as you're having a higher level of consciousness and you're having communication, and it's pretty easy, and there's signs for higher levels of consciousness, and a lot of that is going to be mainly respectful communication kind of stuff, coherency, our actions aligning with words, stuff like that. And, it's still pretty early in this new administration to know how much stuff is actually going to pay off or whatever, because there's a lot of pushback and move through and lots of stuff to go on. But the one thing is like, with all the chaos, is if we're, how do I put it this way? The natural human element, or how to put it this way, you have the natural self that is at its highest frequency level. And the things that we learn in this lifetime, for the most part, oversimplifying this, uh get in the way of our natural light shining through and our higher frequency coming through. So it's
Yeah,
basically our lower level. So it's not that we need to learn how to raise our frequency. It's that we need to let go of the things, of the lower frequencies that we were taking on that aren't really us, you know?
yeah.
And so,
Well, a lot of those are influenced by culture or by programming or what have you, right?
exactly. And so, in the sense of applying that to what's going on right now, is why I have faith, even though I have no idea what's going to happen or whatever in this whole, like, series of events, is that, like, if if the consciousness is actually raising, then we are going to have some chaos. But at the same time, is that, like, if they're not putting more restrictions on and they're taking restrictions off for the most part of human nature and human potential for the most part. And I'm not being super libertarian in this, but it's just like in the sense of, like, spiritual consciousness, that it's going to raise the vibe and people are going to be able to tap into more solutions as they're moving forward each step along the way. And the people who are aligning with higher level frequencies are going to win out more often than the people who are not, you
Yeah.
know? And
Higher
so
consciousness beats lower consciousness just generally. But it has
just
to decide to get on the field. And I think higher consciousness has less of a desire to compete in the field, if that makes sense. So it
I think
usually,
that
like,
makes,
good takes a while to come to the field, but it usually wins, like when it comes to the field.
well, it's like you can have a super Sufi mystic or whatever kind of mystic kind of person be like super, super high frequency and meditating and literally raising the whole frequency of a city, of a nation, of a country, of the world, and balancing out so many other low vibration people, because that's just how, like, logarithmic consciousness works. but at the same time is like what you're saying is sometimes you need to be the physical hand of karma doing something, and that means that if you're interacting on those levels, you're not going to be at that like super high frequency level. And so it's like
No.
we're all walking different paths and we're all doing different stuff, and it's like you should never look to be the hand of karma, but at the same time is that like when it's you, when you have to do your thing and you have to recognize that, hey, I'm not just standing up for myself, I'm also acting as a hand of karma on this person so that they can learn this lesson. Because some people need a harsh word, some people need a hug and a look in the eye, some people need a punch in the face and a kick in the crotch.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't kick him in the crotch just because, you know, I'd rather almost stab somebody than like kick him in the crotch. As far as it goes, it feels like kicking in the crotch is just, I don't know. There's something about it.
I
Feels low level to me.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
heard
it ever is totally okay to kick somebody in the crotch, but stabbing them is fine.
I
If
guess
they're
I got in a couple fights as a kid, very few, but I was a martial artist, and it was the kind of thing where it was just like, you aren't even worth my time. I just hit them in the crotch because they didn't see it coming, and they were out. That was it. That was done.
that
And it
does
was
drop them to the
I had
ground. I
three
mean, it
people
is
coming at me at
effective.
once.
It's effective, but I
Oh,
bet more people
no,
don't come up to fight with you.
I'm very good at multiple people on me at once, and the thing is that like Um, that too, That's
I'm
fun. That's
very
fun too. But I was talking
orgy.
about martially, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
and not Marshall and Lee because they're fun as well.
Oh, nice. But
Good job.
But
Good. Well done, sir. Yeah.
yeah,
But
but
yeah.
hmm.
But yeah, little
but yeah.
lesson on if you ever do get in a threesome. Little rule is if you have a primary partner, never lose contact with your primary partner. Always have eye contact, or you always have physical contact if you ever have a threesome. Just as a general rule of thumb.
I have never had a threesome. Probably
It's
won't.
unlikely to because you're dating a tourist. So
Well,
wait,
no, it's not. It's not unlikely. It's never gonna happen.
yeah, that's what I mean.
And
I
we're
mean,
not.
it's
Well,
very
I mean, we
unlikely.
have listeners
And
as well.
and
I'm just
I
saying.
know.
It's
I know.
I've had a few threesomes, three of them, and yeah, they're
Hey,
fun,
okay.
but at the same time is that like
You do you.
uh just it's like if you're gonna be heathenistic, you be heathenistic and you treat it as that thing,
Yeah.
you know? And if you're hypersexual and that kind of stuff and sex is just sex for you, it's easier for people to do that as like an escapade because it's like a dopamine activity. Hey, we're just gonna go do this thing and have some fun or whatever. But it's like but most people are not built that way, you know?
Emotionally.
Well, emotionally,
I would
I think
say
it's more of I think it's a little bit more of a physical thing that like when you're super hypersexual and you like because it's a bell curve and there's gonna be those people at the plus 2.5, 3 standard deviation, which is gonna be about 3.5 to 5% of the population or whatever, which are just hypersexual to the point where it's like people are like, I mean, like I'm very sexual, but they want to have sex like 2 or 3 times more than me. You know what I'm saying? They want to have sex like 3, 4 times a day, kind of
oof,
thing. You know, that's marathon. And for
that's
people
when
who
you're
have
just
that,
shooting air by the end of the day. Like every day,
but see,
and you
that's why
just
I'm
see
saying
the guys like his skin would his flesh would slowly sink into his face and slowly look like the crypt keeper over time, and
Yeah.
he's like,
but that's why I'm
oh
saying
my god,
biological.
and his lady would just be like radiant all the time, and he's just slowly becoming the crypt keeper. Like that's just evil, that's just that's succubus kind of shit right
Yeah.
there.
But what I'm saying is that like some people are hypersexual to the point that like the average person doesn't really understand. You
I'd say
know,
most of that is based in trauma. Usually, I would say
no,
that
no, no.
that's a trauma response,
That
right?
that definitely adds
I
to it, and
I
I think that
completely agree.
but still the thing is that if those are the cards you're dealt and you're in a relationship with someone, and as long as, like, let me just put it this way, just because you step in another mud puddle doesn't take away from your ocean with somebody else. Is I'm not trying to advocate for it. I'm just trying to say that that works for some people.
I think fixed signs in general like argue with that quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'm an Aquarius, so we're supposed to be all polyamorous and bullshit. I'm like, no, no, I'm like
That's
one
Venus in
fucking person.
Aquarius.
Oh, okay, fair. Because it's
Well,
like
that's
Yeah,
also where it
usually.
shows that
one
I'm way more like
person
hippie progressive
only.
than you guys are.
You're so progressive. You're so much more advanced than
Wow,
us.
you really
Yeah.
fit in Eugene. Doesn't it feel good to
Ah.
fit in Eugene right now, where
No, it's like,
everybody like likes you because you're so progressive in Eugene? Everybody's feeling you.
oh no, it's like
Um,
I don't fit into any camp right now. I'm in the totally like ex, or I guess post liberal,
Camp
post
of the
woke.
Saints,
Yeah.
post woke.
That's yeah. No,
Well, I'm also post liberal too because liberalism has its own issues too.
yeah.
I'm like feeling
I,
like we're just in an acceleration period, so I'm just an accelerationist right now, and it's fun.
nice. I appreciate
Yeah,
Transition
what you want
as
to
you
say.
go.
I'm more
Yeah.
into like trying to like surf and like ride this wave out and try to, you know, head or paddle to where I need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you need to be a dominatrix. No, the guy version of that, or dom,
Hey.
because then you can paddle out to where you need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean
Hey.
like Dimitri or Dominic? I'll be a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominic.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
All right.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
So anyhow, threesomes probably not a good idea for a Venus retrograde. Like it's almost
No,
never going to
no,
end
that's
well for you.
probably not a good idea.
Orgies
no.
probably not a great idea for this period of time, at least if you're going to schedule your
Yeah.
orgy. Wait until after the Venus
Well,
retrograde is over.
especially impulsive ones. Like it's one thing if that's like
Yeah.
your lifestyle going back,
Oh yeah,
then
yeah,
fucking
for
just keep
sure.
doing your thing, whatever. Like that's your thing. But if we're talking like impulsive, like, oh, Venus is retrograde, so I'm like all of a sudden like,
Let's
oh,
do it
I
for the
like,
first time.
yeah, exactly. Nah, no, 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 no. That's not gonna go well. We'll just say that you can do it, but it's not gonna go well. You're gonna have fucking. You're gonna,
Yes.
yeah, uh, it,
You're gonna get the clap, dude. It's
yeah,
at best,
yeah, yeah.
like at best.
And that's a good lesson for a retrograde.
Probably
It's like,
HPV. That's the one
yeah,
that's in your generation quite frequently,
fun.
unfortunately.
Oh, I
Poor
want the clap.
guys.
I
Clap's
want the
better because
clap.
you can get just some pills and it will go away.
Oh,
You
got
don't want
it.
the one that stays around forever. You know what I'm saying? That is the
Yeah.
danger of multiple partners is more chances to
Wait,
get
HP
disease.
HPV though. That's not like it doesn't like express itself, right? That's the one that leads to like cervical cancer and shit, right? Or
Genital
which?
warts?
Yeah,
Yeah, genital warts,
Oh,
dude. Yeah.
never mind. I need to
but
refresh
That's
on
what
my
that
ST.
is.
Yeah,
women.
okay, got it. Okay.
It's
So
not herpes, but it is. I think herpes is papilloma or something. Papilloma. I don't know.
That's HSV.
I'm, of course, as a Saturn and Virgo, pure as the driven snow sexually. So I don't really even know anything that you guys are talking about. Threesomes, orgies,
Yeah,
yeah,
weird.
yeah, you've never had
me
any of
either.
those, I'm sure.
Wait, now I'm unsure. Your reaction? No, I was like, yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't. I'm a fucking Aquarius. I've never even. It's just never been on my radar.
Troy is like, I've heard stories about you, Michael. I don't trust anything you say, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Mhm.
No, he's getting this old man mystic phase where he
Fuck
would
yeah.
just as rather go send you down the wrong path just so that you could figure out that you shouldn't go listen to other people and like trust your own intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old man
I
mystic.
mean, I'm an old. Are you calling me an old man just because I'm gray in the beard now? I see what you're
No,
saying. I
no,
see what
I'm
you're
talking
saying.
about your demeanor because you're coming into your old man like 'cause like as far as the caricature of the old man on the hill or the wise old man and you go ask him for advice or whatever,
And he
it's
just
like
talks shit
fuck
to you.
you. fuck you, I'm not gonna give you advice. He's like, just give me advice. And then he specifically gives him the wrong advice.
Well, you learn a lesson, right? Like that's how you gain wisdom. Somebody comes up to the mountain and says, "How do I gain wisdom?" You make mistakes, right? So you send them on a goose chase to make some mistakes. They gain experience and wisdom from it. It's great.
No, I'm sure the exchange goes, he's just like, hey, I need some help with this. And it's like, well, hey, you know what? You need to figure that out on your own and you just need to learn mistakes. And he's like, could you give me better advice than that? And then you tell him the bad advice.
Yeah. Um,
Honestly.
yes. Good, bad advice to give somebody is to just get totally lost in sensory pleasure, become a hedonist, completely follow their dopamine wherever it leads, as far as it takes you down until you've hit a point where you can't get anything else out of it, and then you will have learned the lesson of the emptiness of materialism through hard experience, and that's a good thing to learn, right?
Yeah, it's like cursing their ego death by saying, I hope you satisfy all of your desires.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Cursing their ego
Satisfaction.
to die. Because it gets to the end and they're like, I have everything I want. I'm a dragon sitting on a pile of gold and I'm still miserable.
I'm still so sad. I got to the top of the mountain and I'm still myself.
It's cold up here.
It's cold and everyone hates me because I stepped on their heads to get here. Woe is me. And then some dragon slayer comes up, and kills you and takes all your fucking gold, and you're just a pile of dragon bones in the fucking mountains. And what was it? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was the climb worth it? Maybe. We don't know. It could be that in the afterlife, you're like, look at how much shit I got. Do you see how much I accumulated? Look at this. I mean, I know it's not here right now, but like, let's play the replay. Look at how much I was sitting on a pile of gold that was 10 cubits high. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was
Yeah.
amazing. And everyone respected me and feared me.
Earth signs
It
be
was cool.
like. Yeah.
Part as I
No.
understand it, part
Science
of the reason
beat.
we're down here is kind of like we're down on crazy planet Earth. We're down here on this crazy Earth or in America shit, and so there's all these karmic opportunities, and it basically
Keep going.
kind of like when you're kind of playing like on a double gold weekend or whatever on a video game or whatever, and that's kind of what it is right now, and so but at the same time is that it's a little bit like steroids, where it's like you could take steroids and it helps, but like you still have to go to the gym and actually lift shit. It's a
Yes.
magnifier. Like, and so the thing is, like, when we're on the earth, as far as I understand, like dealing with all of our karma and all this stuff is way, way, way easier and happens way faster in body than when we're up in our spiritual dimensions before we incarnate into a body or between bodies, as however you think about it.
Everything that I've seen suggests that we chose to come into this body, that we had certain lessons that we were trying to learn, and those are the things that, we chose to learn. We pick a certain setup to come down in, and then we these free will choices that either we check those boxes off our list and maybe a couple extra, or we don't, like that's kind of the way that life works. And we choose it.
Yep.
I mean, that's the way it goes. And I have no doubt that that's
Yep.
like the thing, that we're choosing it. But I also feel like we've learned most of our earth lessons. I don't think there's a whole lot more to be learned collectively from this experience for a lot of us. I feel like we're
Well,
towards a ending.
it's no, I mean, well,
The ending that is a
only
beginning.
an ending only in the sense that we're just coming to a new level and a new paradigm, essentially.
Yeah, we're gonna ascend in consciousness. I think like some people will ascend in consciousness, some people will get stuck in lower consciousness because there's like the fear and love poles, right? Like we hope that everybody comes with us, but not everybody will choose to. You have free will
Well,
choice to choose evil, right?
well, the thing
Don't you?
is how do I put it this way? I think a lot of that stuff is not going to be. It's going to happen, but it's way more subtle. It's much more in the sense that like so the whole 2012 drama, part of that whole thing was it was supposed to be an ascension cycle thing. It's natural. But because of all of the dramas that have been going on for eons, we didn't hit that point. A failsafe was activated more or less that put us more or less on a normal track again. But it's still like, as I understand it, like my intuition and my understanding of it, which is what it
Shit.
uh, is basically
What happened?
that we're going to be moving
You're not.
forward in this, and it's more that like as we die or whatever, that we have the ability to kind of ascend because you normal ascension without all of the earth grids and all of its weird places like it is right now would allow us to basically transmutate our bodies with it, you know, but we can't do that right now, so it's more or less that we're like it's how much of our energy and our quantum field that is going to be
Oh,
pulled with us afterwards. That hold on, what I'm
I don't
saying
think
is
we're blocked from it. I
no,
think
but
consciousness can break through that fucking gate, you know? I don't think we're actually that trapped into this
no, all I'm saying
dark
is that
future.
more all I'm saying is more and more options are opening up as we're hitting these new frequencies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. I don't feel like that there's this big block to it. I'm not like with the I mean, there's like the New World Order, like obviously the Davos folks are trying to push us towards, but I don't think that they're gonna I don't think it's gonna happen, you know. I think that they're gonna get foiled. It's gonna be like curses foiled again, like when it gets down to it. They're not gonna be able to fucking pull it off. There's too much consciousness already, I think, for that. And I think it'll only get worse as more people start popping their heads up and looking around. Because
Yeah.
that is like what it's about, you know. All people have to do is like align with truth to a certain extent, you know. Like it's people that are caught up in narratives and lies that are the ones that are lost right now, you know.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of our reality is shaped by these narratives. Words have power, right? Like when we speak it, we speak it into being. That's like one of our primary creative powers. So there's people that know this and they use words and narratives to like guide human development. And there's plenty of people on kind of both the light and dark side of that. Um, but once people get aligned more with truth, it's like a lot harder to get them off of it, you know, like because it feels different. There's like an intuitive difference between once you like are somewhat aligned, there's a different feeling between truth and falsity. When you even just if you're watching a YouTube video or if you're watching like a reel or whatever, and some you can tell when somebody's trying to manipulate you. Like you can tell when somebody's lying to you to manipulate your energy. You can tell when somebody's telling the truth as they see it. There's a different quality to the energy. And I think that that is like a huge part of this time is like more and more people are getting more aligned with truth, which means that they're connecting to resonant energies, which allow them to raise their vibration or frequency or whatever you want to say. And then the more that the frequency raises, the less that the lies can exist in it collectively. And I think that the biggest thing that's happened over the course of this last year is the narrative control systems of like major media, corporate media, for example, have broken down completely. And there have been some attempts for other people to control the narrative. Even X, I think Elon Musk to a certain extent was like, great, the major media narratives are no longer sticking, so we can control the narrative through X. And they tried, but they can't anymore. Like the narrative shaping period is kind of over. And that's crazy. That's like new. It's very emergent right now. And I think it's going to be very hard to reforce a narrative. So everything is going to start uh, disintegrating that's false. And everything that's true is going to become more integrated and, you know, more integral. Um, and that's where I feel like it's going. That's like the energy. I'm just hoping that we don't go into like this bloody period, and I think that that's a danger of the Neptune and Aries, because there's a real holy war energy that's associated with Neptune conjunct Saturn and Aries, especially 0 point. And I feel like as the systems of control in certain religions break down, like that's not going to be very positive for a lot of people. And the people that are at top of control systems don't like losing power. And when they're losing power, there's going to be a lot of flailing. And I'd say that that's probably the real danger of the Saturn Neptune conjunction, is that flailing period of, I don't know how to say that better than that, but that period of when they're losing control is like the scariest time. And in some ways that's already been happening on like lower levels. But once it starts happening, like in, for example, like the Catholic Church, Pope Francis is about to die, like it looks like. So Catholic Church is going to have to decide who's going to be next. And there's a lot of people that, see the Catholic Church as kind of there's a lot of corruption in that institution. It needs to be cleaned up. There's a lot of people even within it that say that that needs to happen. There's a lot of people within like, there's uh, synagogues that maybe don't always represent the best parts. There's fucking mosques or leaders of Islamic religions that aren't always representing like the highest truth. They're representing their own quest for power and their lust for power. And I feel like that aspect of religion is going to be kind of blown open. And it's like, what happens when those bedrock meanings, you know, start breaking apart? And I feel like that is a scary time for all of humanity, because you don't want to just break apart meaning without having something to, catch people that are like falling away from it. Um, but there's no real way to get around that, because each one of those religions, to a certain extent, especially the Abrahamic religions, are trying to push their prophecies forward, right? You have like certain sects in each of these that are trying to force the hand of God. And that is traditionally doesn't result in good things, I'd say. And I think that that is intimately connected with what is going to happen in the Saturn Neptune conjunction. Like that, forcing the hand of God was a bad idea. Religion's going to have some come to Jesus moments. Excuse my pun.
So
But
Doge is going after the church, is what you're saying?
I don't say Doge is going after the church. I'm saying that like
Metaphorically.
they're trying to make their shit come true, right? They're trying to make all of the all of the Abrahamic religions have different prophetic traditions, and each of them are they don't work with each other. They're not like prophetic traditions that actually like would all work at the same time. So each one is trying to push theirs forward, that this is the one true way, right? And at some point, like one of them's not, some might not be. So it's like, what happens when that becomes like, oh shit, this thing that I put so much energy and so much time and so much love into, it doesn't seem like it's working, and it leads us to greater conflict. I feel like that's the energy that is developing. And it's like this last, and it's not even like a last gasp, because I totally think that the core of all world religions are something real. There's something in the core of all the world religions, but the devil has organized them all. God creates a religion and the devil organizes it. And that is, I feel, true.
Yeah.
But you guys might
You
have
were talking
thoughts
at
on
me
that. I
there
was
for
just
a
ranting
minute
for a
there.
second.
It
What?
was. I mean, I just wanted to let you finish. Yeah.
No, and that's definitely a thing, because it's just whenever there's enough of influence somewhere, there are lower vibrational consciousness people that want to get in there and essentially like put a dam in there and generate power from other
Yeah.
people's energy flows, you know.
Yes.
And
And I
that's
think you go
another
deeper, and there's like vampiric aspects to
exactly.
our ruling class, right? Or like the things beneath the ruling class, the thing that the ruling classes serve, to a certain
Yep.
extent.
I mean both like spiritually energy and vampiric, but also like monetarily rent seeking behavior, where
Yes.
basically it's you're trying to basically make money without creating any value is essentially
The great
what the
noticing is upon us. That's all I know.
Oh yeah.
Have you
No.
seen this happening? How there's like there was a interview on Rogan with Ian Carroll. Did anybody see this?
Oh, did you see on Rogan? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was a good episode.
Not only was it a good episode, it is making a lot of people very sweaty right now. And they're like, he's funded by Qatar. He's like worth $30,000, Like this guy has kind of newly come up, he's not like super famous yet. So you're seeing like this organized like attempt to pretend that he's funded by some outside force. Um, you're seeing people like Candace Owens like no longer towing the line. You're seeing people like Tucker Carlson no longer towing the line. It's upon us. Like people have, we've, it's, there's an idea that time has come that maybe America, we should focus on our own shit first. Maybe not be too influenced by what other countries want us to do, no matter what country they are. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are like surfacing that have been pretty pretty held down. Pretty restricted for a long time. The restricted section of the Forbidden Library is opening now, and a lot more people are starting to read it. Um, and that's just going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy because that control is not going to be let go of super easy. And narrative control has been something that's just been had for a long time and it no longer exists. So what happens now? Like I don't know. I feel like we're in a big shift happened this last couple weeks, and you
Stop
can
talking at me.
see what's coming. Stop talking at
No,
you. How am I talking
no,
at you?
no, you keep talking about the energy flows and you keep doing this stuff and it's just like you're talking about the general stuff, but then all of a sudden it's just like it starts resonating with me so hard that my Pisces Mercury is just like I'm about to fucking Pisces out of my eyes.
Yes. Um, I'm just excited about it. It's a lot of big shifts. I love chaos because I've got a moon conjunct Uranus in Scorpio, so chaotic periods are actually more exciting for me than the calm periods. As
We
long as
know.
nobody's shooting at me yet. But also that'd be kind of exciting too. I don't want it to happen though.
Yeah.
Well, and from my psychology understanding, that also goes in with like your attachment style and such like that. Because if you're a people pleaser and a problem solver and there's chaos going around, you always have an opportunity to prove your value to people.
So you're saying my
Mm.
attachment style is what?
Well, anxious in
Ain't
that
okay,
sense.
cool. Hmm.
Yeah. But we chatted about it before in that sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm all the attachment styles.
Well, no, I mean, you're definitely disorganized, and that's the thing that I'm like really interested as I'm learning more about this cuz like personally speaking,
It's
I know
true.
like essentially like your attachment style is the strategy you've developed when you come into a problem. And then when you have a more disorganized style, you're going to essentially adapt it to what like situation it's in. And the thing is, like, psychologically, like the way our brains wired in our bodies is basically like we essentially have one way to connect with people. We have one set of neural
The dick.
pathways in
Wait,
order
no.
to interact with people in that sense and create those relationships. And the thing is everybody has to go down those same neural pathways. So the thing is like the habits you create in your relationships with one people end up creating and echoing out on everybody else, and it's just being aware of that. And so part of my hypothesis is, as you're looking at someone's chart, you're going to be able to essentially be able to see more or less when they come into a certain situation, are they more likely to be avoidant, or what type is behavior is going to come up, because it's like, but I still need to learn more about astrology. But it's like, if you're going to be like more of a water sign or a fire sign, well, you're going to be maybe more of a fawn type, where you're just going to kind of merge to what they're going to say. And if you're more of a fire type in that sense, maybe you're going to fight in that situation, you know?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot about attachment styles, but I've never actually researched them. That was not a course in psychology that I ever took.
Well,
But people like swear by them, but I don't notice any of the people that are like always talking about them to be in good relationships. So I like have
well, it's
found,
because they had to learn about it.
yeah. I mean, but you think if you'd learn about it, then maybe you could do something about the thing, yeah?
It's
Or
kind of
is learning
something
about
that
it just
Well,
like
why would
getting a
they do that when they can
diagnosis?
just play the victim through whatever, bullshit
well
they've been diagnosed with?
That
that's
seems
super
like the
popular.
problem to me, actually. Yeah.
Well, and that's the
Amber,
problem
you're
with
right
pop
on.
psychology.
Thank
Pop
you.
psychology is like, it's really good for like one aspect of problem solving, which is understanding the problem. But the problem is that with that is that its limitation, because you can only partially, like, you have to understand the problem and the solution to, if you don't understand the solution, you can't fully understand the problem either. Because if you don't know how you got into that problem, you don't know how to get out of that problem, and that's part of the
True.
healing. And in the spiritual sense, we came here to take on all of these hard spiritual lessons to
Hmm.
basically learn how to heal them, because we wanted the antidote. And once we learn those solutions, and we learn, in this instance, secure attachment, which is more or less learning how to create meaningful relationships with people and build trust, and that comes down to biologically being vasopressin bonding and oxytocin bonding, and understanding that oxytocin bonding is basically, we can trust each other to feel good and do fun things around each other. And then vasopressin bonding is, we can get through shit together, and when shit's real, I can trust this person to have my back, you know? And
Oxytocin bonding is when you just stroke her hair, right?
pretty much.
And
I mean,
Well,
she's
that
kind
just
of,
sounds
that's
like
normally
it's,
part of it.
just all sex and date nights and whatnot with, never
yeah.
having to really commit to anything.
Well, some dates nights can get a little bit of vasopressin bonding. Like when you're in more long-term relationships, just being able to have an adventure and go and like to a new restaurant or whatever, you do get some vasopressin bonding from that, from what I
Well,
understand.
definitely. I mean, I agree with that. I would say Nick and I have a pretty healthy combination of the two. But,
Excellent.
with oxytocin bonding, like, I mean, you're only focused on like, you know, the
Pleasure.
adrenaline rush or, the endorphins and whatnot that, you get in the moment. I mean, it's not necessarily substantial enough to create a lasting long-term relationship.
No, for sure. And well, and that's also dopamine cycle in there too, which I think you're talking about. Because like, so I was listening to, what was it? Match.com did a big study of like 20,000 people. And then they did actually like a survey from that. And then they did a subsection on that where they actually tested people's hormones along to their testing. And they basically found that like there was pretty much like people who were serotonin dominant in the way that they interacted with other people found other people who were serotonin dominant. People who were dopamine, dominant, found other people who were dopamine, and serotonin people, more or less, in this oversimplifying it, You know, they kind of want to get into a habit, sit in their thing, do their thing. Like they just want to nest and have a nice thing. Dopamine people want
Yeah.
to go out and basically like they want an adventure. They always are looking for that next thing, you know? And it can be healthy, but it's still just like it's always that next thing is their mentality. They're always planning, they're always doing something, they're traveling, you know. And then you have more or less the mask or testosterone and estrogen, and then obviously the testosterone people meet the estrogen people more or less, you know, as far as like the primary brain hormones that they found interacting that correlated with their data. So it's just like, you know, it's just kind of interesting because you have the people who fall into their lifestyle or people who fall into their more of their masculine feminine roles, you know,
So
as the
how does it
primary.
work in Oregon where they're all estrogen people?
I guess the masculine
Or
people are just
Seattle.
lonely.
Yeah.
Or conservative.
I didn't mean to interrupt
through it.
you for the joke, but sometimes you got to do it. You know, I'm
Yeah,
Hey,
sorry.
I'll be the butt of a joke.
good.
I'll eat
It
some
was
ass.
good. Hey.
I'll be the butt of the joke. I'll eat some ass. That's a good. I don't. You know, that is something that I'm like the millennials. I think that's where they went wrong.
Well,
There's a lot of diseases in the butt, and you should not lick around it unless it is
I'm sorry.
hermetically
You are a
clean. You
Scorpio,
understand?
For
Venus,
all of
and Mars, and
eons,
I do not believe you.
for all of mankind, for
Are
all
you
of
saying I'm
mankind,
lying?
men have been there
Yes.
to die for women. If men would die for women, why would they not do something to pleasure their woman like eat their ass? I'm sorry.
Real men eat ass.
Yeah.
Pinworms, pinworms.
Who the fuck has pinworms? Michael
Somebody.
Those are
Schultz.
third world
Somebody.
problems. We're in the first
Yeah.
world. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. We have
We're healthy here.
ivermectin.
For now, until the millennials fuck it all up for us for a couple generations. Jeez. Stop eating ass. I'm just saying, like the Saturn in
You
Virgo
should be
in
less
me.
worried about millennials and more worried about Gen Z.
Yeah,
Oh, the
exactly.
Because
Zoomers
they're
are even
into some
worse.
really horrible
They'll
shit.
do it on a bus. They'll do it on a public bus. That's like, how could it get worse? That's like the Sagittarius Pluto generation. They're eating
Say what
ass
you
on
want, but
buses,
Sag
dude. I don't like it.
I mean, that's
It's
Sagittarius
true.
archetype energy.
Except
So
the Zoomer boys are not getting much at all. That is a very big problem for the Zoomer boys. There's small percentage of
because
them
they
are
are
getting a
high in
lot.
estrogen.
Yeah.
Oh
It's because
yeah,
It might be the
they're not
soy.
eating
It might
ass.
be the
Yeah.
soy.
well, a third of people under 30 are virgin, and then it's something like almost like 38% of men under 30 are virgins or something
How are
like
we going to
that.
solve this incel epidemic? It's very sad.
Well, stop being gay.
I mean,
No, gay people are
a lot
not
of it.
incels, though.
Oh no,
You
I
know,
mean gay in the other sense.
Oh, stop being. Well, do you think the
it's
girls have any role to play in this, Amber? Just out of
Of course I
curiosity.
do. I mean,
Okay, just checking.
even in my chat, yesterday I was it yesterday or the day before? It doesn't really matter. But my point is modern society has equally failed both genders. And I love to laugh at, the extreme hardcore feminist, but I also like to laugh and make fun of the black pillars. I mean, there has to be,
oh yeah.
some I don't know, there has to be some type of middle where people can meet. I mean, now I
I just
do
don't
agree with
understand.
a
There's
lot of
so
the
many
red pill
whores.
ideology, but the black pill ideology is totally fucked up in my opinion.
I
I just,
totally agree. And I think to your like one of your points in there, I think we're a couple years away from like, having the super viral podcast that comes out of nowhere that is basically, hey, we're going to sit people down from different viewpoints and have them talk it out, where basically we have like two normal people on each side, and then we have an expert on each side, and then like a moderator or something like that, kind of like the whatever podcast, but actually trying to be constructive.
But
But
I think
not
the
the
whatever
whatever.
podcast
Yeah.
is extremely gay.
But
I
But
don't like it at
not.
all.
but what I'm
But
trying to
way
say
better
is that
guests. Yeah.
it's still a hotbed for drama, but if you're actually creating a proper container like that, with the proper skill sets in that room with people who are actually willing to actually have a conversation before they get there, well then you're going to have the drama, but then you're actually going to be able to plant some seeds and have some solutions, and having
What
that
we need is
as a
people planting
model
seeds.
is something that could be really powerful.
I agree.
I like
Here's
that.
what I don't understand. So many people are whores, right? So just
Yes.
terrible whores, right? So I'm just they're just fucking
Cut it, clip it,
so much,
send
right?
it out. Yeah.
And then unfortunately there's like this subset of the population that isn't having sex at all, but there's a subset that's having sex like all the time. So why are the two not meeting? What is going
Because
on?
I think at this point, the whores are, ignoring
Are
the
they just getting
incels.
passed between the same people and
that's-
just constantly going on a merry-go-round? Is
think
that
a
what's
lot of
actually
it-
happening?
It does seem
lot of
that way.
it's-
I mean, if you look into any of the ASO chats that you have created and actually read, some of the conversation in there, you will realize there's a lot of whores in there.
It's your fault, Troy or Michael. Sorry, it's your fault,
Orson
Mike.
Welles. I mean, I didn't do it. I didn't fuck any of these people, right? So it's like it's not my
Well,
fault.
I
let's
never
just-
said you
let's
did.
just be
I'm just saying
honest.
if you paid attention to some of the conversations that happen in there, especially with women who have like Leo Mars, like I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like they are huge whores.
Huh.
Who has Leo Mars, Amber?
Quite a few people apparently.
Oh, okay.
Tim does, I think. So
He
that
does.
checks out.
To be
Yeah, that
honest,
checks
the
out.
group is so big.
Hey, shout
that
out, Tim.
Every time somebody
Shout out,
places
Tim.
any placement,
Niece,
there's at least like half a
Miss,
dozen
Or-
people who
however
say
the fuck
me
you say
too.
her name.
Oh wait, Troy. One more time. Make your point.
Well, I was just saying there's so many people in the group now that basically you post any kind of placement and somebody in the group is like at least like 3 or 4 people are going to be like, "Oh, I have that same placement."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, it's pretty
generally how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Especially in a group of 15,000 people.
Yeah, there's like one out of every 12
Statistically,
is
yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
have a
congrats
Mars
on the
Yeah.
in
group
Leo,
again.
Yeah.
But no, one thing I have learned about Leo Mars women is they are all size queens, apparently. Like that's a really important thing to them.
I get it. You mean they care about the RAM?
Exactly.
Thank God you don't have Leo Mars.
What, Bruno Mars?
What is your Mars?
My Mars?
Yeah,
Troy?
Amber.
It's
Oh, Troy.
Sag, I believe.
Yeah,
okay.
Sag Gang, Mars and Sag Gang. Wah, 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 wah.
Horse.
Whores.
Oh yeah.
Not you.
One of-
Not you.
Okay,
Yeah,
pretty
particularly.
much all Fire Mars placements are whores. I
Yes,
mean,
it's true.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it's
get
just the way it is.
I get it. No, I am a dirty slut, and if my Pisces Mercury would let me.
If you're like, oh,
I am not a dirty slut. What am I doing wrong?
What are you
Fucking
talking
probably.
about, dude? You're doing so
well,
much.
no, he
right.
doesn't do anything wrong in that department.
Ah!
Well, good for you, man.
Wah, wah, wah.
Good.
Could I call you star-crossed lovers? So
No,
Yeah.
they are a little bit, but you shouldn't call them that because it'll make them self-conscious. So you don't want to do that. They chose to do.
But I like when Nick
They
smiles
chose
like
to
that.
do a
He's so
sun
cute.
square and a moon opposition. So they were like, they did not.
He
choose
wanted
the
to be my
easy
Libra
road.
moon baby girl. Like
Yeah, we chose.
Yeah,
we chose this
We
insanity.
chose this.
you chose it.
And-
Yeah. So you chose
and it-
challenge. You're gonna
I s-
argue a little bit. That's
it
like
works.
how it goes.
It works.
You just got to figure out how to turn the arguing into the hottest sex you've ever had as often as you can, and you're fine.
That's called vasopressin bonding. It's called.
Plus, I mean, we
no
have a
problem.
lot of good things going on in both synastry and composite. So, like, I'm not too worried about that. I mean, sure, if people look at like just the square and opposition, then they're going to be like, wait, why the fuck did they choose this? But,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't just look at that, but I do look at it. Is it exact? Are either of those exact squares
No.
or oppositions?
oh, definitely not. No.
Oh, good. Then you're probably fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Your relationship is strong, and you're gonna get through this Venus retrograde. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
I'm knocking on wood because that scares the wood gnomes.
I
That's
don't.
why you knock
I-
on wood.
your tone is. I don't like your tone.
Nobody
You're
likes my
you're
tone. This is
you're
one of my main
fine.
problems.
Oh,
in life.
okay.
Tell me
Never mind
about
then.
it, bro. Tell me about
My
it.
tone is it's disrespectful at its base for some reason, and I don't know why. It just is the way I am. So
Yeah, you have resting bitch tone.
I have resting bastard tone. I think it's
Or
because I'm
bastard tone,
actually a
yeah.
bastard,
It's
you know. So
bitch.
I think that
Oh,
that is why. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I know who I am.
Okay.
It's fine.
I
Yeah.
know, but okay. Well, okay. In the literal sense of the word, sure. But
Yes, I'm a literal bastard.
Okay.
Like not a figurative bastard.
Yeah,
Sometimes a figurative bastard, but mostly just a literal
yeah,
bastard.
yeah.
Hey, kitty.
But oh, what kind of? Let's see the kitty. Let's see the
Well,
kitty.
y'all can't.
She's
we all-
jumping up
we
in
all
my
can't-
lap right now. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see the kitty, Amber.
No.
No. I mean,
Ow.
get the, oh,
Look at her.
You're missing it.
Say hi.
oh, hello, kitty.
We're
She
getting
hated
the-
that.
We have
She's
we
a
have the
Virgo. She
thumbnail right
hated it.
now. We have the
She
thumbnail
yeah.
right now.
She's a
Just
I
a
know.
Virgo.
cat.
She hated
I was
it.
gonna say the cat's face.
I mean, the cat that I had growing up was also a Virgo.
Oh,
I was like the only person in the family who she liked. I mean, I named her Angel, and unfortunately, my mom told everyone that her name was Lucifer.
yeah.
But I mean, I thought she was very sweet to me.
Yeah.
She's a very sweet. Our cat is very sweet. This is Luna. And Luna was born on a new moon. So she's a Virgo sun, Virgo moon. She doesn't get fat, which is very nice. That's a normal Virgo cat thing. They are not usually fat cats.
Okay. Good.
Which
Do
is
we
cool.
see her again? Let's do.
I don't know. She doesn't like being brought up for display, but yes.
Oh, Luna!
So cute.
Yeah.
She didn't like that at all.
The look on her face. Yeah, cats don't like cameras. Yeah.
It-
Well,
it
thank
was-
you.
it
No
was
problem.
Only okay because we were saying stuff to her, and it was enough of a distraction.
Yeah.
So what should we do? Should we close this out, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a good 2 hours. This is a long
Yeah.
one tonight.
It's been a pleasure, boys. Check this beautiful snowflake obsidian out.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Oh. My
Yes.
dumbass thought that was a magic 8-ball.
I thought it was too.
Okay,
Have you ever
thank
seen
you.
that joke where it's
Called it
like
at the time.
magic 8-ball? Am I stupid? And it's
totally
like
thought you were
he
doing
looks and it's a bowling ball. That's just
Oh
great.
my god.
One of my
I
favorite.
thought we were
memes, to
gonna
be
like
honest.
ask it one question. And
I
That's a
totally
very-
thought you were doing that.
Oh, just
Okay,
a minute.
thank you.
Okay, ask
Thank
me a
you.
question. Ask me a question.
all right. Who's wait, no, it's gotta be yes or no. Or
No, it
let's
can
see.
be any kind of question because it's not a magic 8-ball.
Oh, okay. Will we make money from this podcast in the future? Uh-oh.
It says unclear. Ask again later. I don't know.
Hey, hey, that thing's accurate. Good job. That's pretty good.
I'll take it. I'll take
Oh.
it. But hey, just to let you know, just because we're here, we're already in the top 10% of podcasts because most podcasts, like 90% of podcasts don't reach like 10 episodes. So
Nope.
Well, we could also strip these and put them on Spotify, I guess, right? I don't know how to do that, but I assume that's possible.
oh yeah, we can do
Um,
that.
It is.
And
possible.
I think we'd probably get more if we did it on Spotify, to be honest.
Well, we could do a bit of both, but I mean, it's mainly like we're now like pretty up and going, and we got our thing going, and we like, and yeah, we can
Yeah. All right.
yeah, because like
Okay.
we're up to like 25, and we've skipped some weeks now, so we've been doing this for like almost 6 months now.
Yeah. No, we
Yeah,
are.
we're
up to
killing
20
it, guys.
We are
Good
up to
job.
25. Yeah.
It's been
Way to
over
get to the
6 months.
quarter century mark. And each of them
Yeah.
have been gems, just perfectly executed podcasts with total just narrative control. We've been really focused the whole way
Oh,
through. I
yeah.
feel like that has been the real thing that
And-
sets us apart from other
And we would like
podcasts
to
is
thank
how
the CIA
focused
for
we are.
writing all of our scripts for
Oh,
us.
definitely.
It's made
Yes.
this show really easily, and they funded us with our high production value, as you can
Ooh.
obviously see.
All my funding comes from Assad. You're getting paid by the CIA? Oh wait, they're the same
Yeah.
thing, aren't they?
It's a joint operation.
No, this podcast has actually been going now for about 9
It's a
months.
joint operation.
Damn.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah. Wait. I think she's right. We
I am.
started
Damn, June.
in
She's
Gemini.
probably right.
Wait, June.
June.
So not Gemini.
No, the sun was still in Gemini.
Oh, okay. We started in Gemini and we're in Pisces now. So yeah, holy shit. Good job, boys.
Almost to a year.
Yep.
And when we get to Gemini
To see your
season, I think
first
it'll be the
episode,
four-year
you know.
anniversary of astrology
Yes.
ship posting only. I'm pretty sure that will be 4 years for that.
Okay, we'll do a celebratory episode. We'll be like,
Well, no, I mean,
What?
this Gemini season will make 3 years.
oh, this one.
Oh yeah, is it only 3?
If you need
Well,
to
you
remember
started
stuff,
ASO.
ask
You
her.
started the most recent leg of astrology ship posting in 22.
It's really only 3 years old. Crazy. Feels like so
She-
long.
She has the best memory of anyone I've ever met.
I
in my
believe
life.
it. I believe. I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
disagreeing. I'm just
No, no, no,
saying.
I'm
June
just like-
14th, 2022.
Okay.
Huh.
I believe it now for sure. Yeah.
Nothing gets past her.
She knows more
No,
about my
I-
group than I do. In fact,
Well-
you probably have better memory for the old group than I do. I just remember that I think Brooke's a bitch. You know, that's pretty much what I remember from the old one.
Different people's brains are built
Brooke
differently,
is a
and
bitch.
especially
Brooke
like
is a
male and
bitch.
female brains are built differently, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, women are really good at remembering a lot of those contextual details in that sense.
This is why, like, they always remember the shit that you did like 6 months ago, and they bring it
Yeah.
up in an argument when they're losing. Have you ever noticed that?
Or
I've
winning.
noticed that. Yeah,
But-
I've
Or
noticed
winning.
that.
But that's why we supposedly make really great partners, is because we see the world differently, and if we can come
Okay, yeah.
together and work together and solve the problems together, it's like, you know, it's basically like when you have a pilot and co-pilot, not to try to like whatever. You have different duties, and you're looking at
Not to
different
try to
causes.
whatever. What do you mean?
What I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm not trying to say one person's in charge or whatever. But the whole point is that you have different
Better
ways
that
to
way,
get the
but
job done, and there's so many gauges and consoles, you know, for
gauges.
you to look at, you know, and levers to pull to just like
Oh, yeah.
get everything done in life. You know, that like having
Yeah.
someone on your team that you can rely on, and that, like, you know, and it helps to have someone who doesn't have the exact same skill set you do, you know.
I hope you find your forever home soon, Troy. I think it's coming. Knocking on wood
Yeah.
to deafen the wood gnomes.
Yeah.
Old Norwegian tradition. The reason you knock on wood is when you say something, you don't want the wood gnomes to hear you say this positive thing and like work against you. So you knock on wood to deafen the wood gnomes. And I really do hope that you find your forever home. And I mean that in like a non-disrespectful way. You deserve a good lady that's not a retard. So
Yeah.
That's
we
not
want you
an
to find
ASO
an-
thought, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
And not
plenty
talking
of
about
ASO
anybody
people that are not
specifically,
thoughts.
that's a generic
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah, but most of us are taken.
I was
It's
gonna
true.
say there's one right next to me, but you already were on top of that. Got it.
I mean, Amber's lovely, but she would also like we would never work out, I'm sure. We have
Obviously.
Oh, she's dating her
Yeah.
friend.
No, for
So
sure.
that
Troy,
makes it
what a
really
comment!
difficult.
No, it's true.
No, it's totally true. Like
Okay,
she-
good. I'm
I
glad.
mean, yeah, we
No,
are.
she seems like an awesome person, but like I totally have lady friends that I'm just like, hey, I love you. You're a fucking awesome person, but like we would just never work in a relationship because
Great.
like it's every time I hang out with
I
them,
get it.
they
I
say something
get what you're saying.
crazy wild, and I'm just like,
So,
wow, that's crazy. And you know,
Troy, I think that
I mean, it's fine. Like, pretty much my whole experience throughout life with men is they are terrified of me, but also turned on by me. But instead of being able to confront those feelings, they just jerk off using their tears as lube. And that's just life. So
Being
if a
salty,
man
that's
is
salt life.
actually strong enough and brave enough to actually pursue me authentically, then yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, maybe this one is not a little bitch.
Hey,
Cheers to you, Amber.
Yeah,
Thank you.
hey, cheers to Amber, everyone.
I
Cheers to
I-
Amber. Raise your glass for Amber.
Oh, yeah.
no,
There we
like
go.
Amber.
so much respect
To
for you,
Amber.
Like
All
I
of
raised
those
my
are
vape
cans.
to her because my glass is
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah.
I've got to pee, and it's a good time to end the thing. So, to Amber,
thanks for
thank you
joining
for
us,
coming
Amber.
on with us. Even if you were in the side, I hope that there's a funny picture of you in the corner when the video comes out. And I hope he's brave enough to make it funny. But I'm not sure if he's willing to pay the cost. So we'll see how it goes. Troy,
He is right here. You
I
fucking
wish
son of a bitch.
I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I hope that you're able to land on your feet and actually thrive in this competitive Eugene gay environment. And if you are not able to, I hope that you were able to find the right place to go to that actually respects you and your skills. And I'm so sorry that you went through some bullshit today, and fuck them. That's all I have to say.
Fuck off.
I appreciate all that, and as much as all this crazy stuff has been going on, and I guess just to talk a little astrology, not to extend things and be a Leo moon, but
As extend things.
but because the Venus retrograde has been in Aries, which is my sign, it's just like it's been like super magnifying, and because I've been like aware of things and working on myself, that it's just like a super bright light focusing on all of my bullshit, and I'm just like it's it's like it's yeah, it's just like you have a flashlight, but then you turn on the light and then you can finally see what you're looking for, and it's just
Mhm.
like the light just got turned on, and I'm just like, oh fuck, my room is a pit. I need to clean this shit up. So yeah, that's the short of it. And
Yeah.
but
Speaking
of
it's also
turned
taught me a
on.
lot of faith.
I mean, I think, Venus retrograde, especially with it being in your Venus sign, I mean, it's a great time for self reflection and introspection. And, I'm not saying, don't get into a relationship, but, maybe wait until Venus goes direct again.
Yeah. Um yeah. But that's only like a month away, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about
yeah.
30 days away, I think. I think we're 10 days into it, about somewhere around there.
I think I can tell my Aries to wait at least until after my birthday. So
Love you guys. I gotta go because I gotta pee really bad. So if there's a
Love you
final
too.
thought, you can have it without me. Goodbye.
Oh,
Goodbye,
yeah.
Mike.